choose you. Season 7's our destiny. Let's eat some Alolan food. I choose you.
Hello and welcome to I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. My name is Jeremy Zielik. I'm the host and Alton Brown of the group. Joining me this week, as always, is
your friend on the show, Ben Montoya.
Ian Davis, the Samuel J. Porcello of the show.
And the Thanksgiving stuffing of the show, Evan Aubrey.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
we've talked about this before, but stuffing the God King, God Emperor of the Thanksgiving meal.
Just like how Evan Aubrey is the God Emperor of the show.
Yes, silently in the background. No, I will say that the last, multiple years I haven't been at Thanksgiving at my parents' house. We've been at Tori's, and I embrace the traditions of, fried rice on Thanksgiving, and it's all delicious, and like deep fried turkey. But man, am I excited to have some down home cooked like stuffing. Just give me that Midwestern, filler.
Yeah. We love filler, don't we? I mean, this show is basically filler. This show is the stuffing of podcasts, if I can say.
Stuff your ears full of this show.
Yes. You want like moist croutons in your gullet?
I'm the moist crouton of the show.
I've got to say, we've become exactly like, at least what I hate most, which is the moment Halloween's done, it's like dead to me. Let's move on to the next holiday.
Well, I mean, what do you want us to
We've become that?
Like, like when you walk into Trader Joe's and like they already have the Christmas stuff up and it's like, man, Thanksgiving hasn't even happened.
You walk into
yet.
the Trader Joe's and they take their decorative skeletons and they execute them
yeah.
one by one in the aisles.
Publicly.
Yes.
Yep.
They take all the apple cider donuts and they just throw them in the trash in front of you.
Oh, no, that's...
And the checkout's like, I bet you wanted these apple cider donuts, and then like stuff 20 of them in their mouths right in front of you.
I'd probably cry. I always ask the employees, I'm like, hey, when are the nuts back? When are they...
The nuts.
And not the nut, not those nuts, but
apostrophe nut.
Yeah. The nuts.
And they're like, I don't know, man. I just work here.
Well, I imagine, so I think Trader Joe's is smart is they have kind of fall-themed food items, like the apple cider donuts and the apple cider.
And the stuffing flavored popcorn, like I mentioned last time. Just want to shout that out again. It's pretty good.
That basically is October and November. They got those things going.
That's true.
I mean,
you get that experience at least for a little longer than maybe a Halloween specific event. But I will say it's been a full week since Halloween. I guess not tonight, but when this episode comes out, it's been a full week. So I think we can be over it. We can like. Michael Myers, he's not here anymore. We put him. Jason back in the lake. Freddy, he's back in the furnace where he got burned up. They're all like in a midwinter sleep until next year.
If we're gonna talk about Thanksgiving, and cider donuts. Got to give a TBT to Thanksgiving with Ben in New York, because 4 things I remember about that trip. 1, the everything bagel. I thought you said hold his ball.
It was very cold. In fact, it was the coldest Thanksgiving on record in New York City. It was freezing.
You know what's funny is I don't remember that. But what I do remember, I remember that restaurant we all went together to go eat at. Can't remember the kind of food, but it was some sort of Middle Eastern food.
Yemenese food.
Yes. Very good. 2, the everything bagel breakfast sandwich I ate with Jeremy when we got there. 3, let's go Pikachu.
Yes.
4, cider donuts that we got.
That's
Is that what started the kick?
Yeah.
Well, and I'll just add, as far as food items go, artichoke pizza.
Yes.
Which ended up being a kind of a huge debacle in
like
getting
5
it,
hours.
but was a little bit worth it from my perspective, because 6 for me is that I just remember being super depressed at that point. So I think that just knowing that those are the things that stand out in your memory is like a bright light for me.
I was gonna say
my memory of that.
My number 6 or our number 7, the friends we made along the way. That was a really nice. I don't know. That was just like a nice.
Hey, shout out to the friends we made along the way.
Michael Woods.
That
Jeremy
other guy
was there.
Yeah. Who's that other guy?
Kale. What's
Yes.
that guy's name?
Yeah. all these people that the listeners of I Choose You are very familiar with.
Hey.
Back to that. What do you got?
Evan, what do you have to drink?
I'm drifting.
Oh, okay.
Spin drifting.
Okay.
Nice.
Ben, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Thorn Brewery Royal Ralph.
Thornberry?
Thorn Brewery.
Oh.
Can it talk to
Royal
animals?
Ralph Hazy IPA. No, but it is a raccoon. I don't know if
Okay.
you can see that. It is a
Oh, yeah,
raccoon
it
on the
is.
can.
That's good.
Do you think they should make a new Wild Thornberries, but she can only speak to like raccoons and possums?
It's like urban wild thornberries.
Yes, the urban jungle or whatever.
Sounds
Jeremy?
bad.
Like last week, I'm also drinking the Santa Fe Social Experiment, which I highly recommend.
At what point is it not an experiment anymore? You've
When they
been
stop
conducting it
calling
for
it
a long
that.
time.
What is
Commonplace.
your
Called.
hypothesis?
I think, yeah, this is no longer a theory.
Do you have a control group?
The control group is me. I'm drinking it, and I'm like, this is pretty good. And some like guys in lab coats are like taking notes because they're hacked into our computers and listening.
They
to
make
what
you
we
say
have
it
to
really
say.
loud,
Yeah.
and then people next to you are like, you know what? That sounds pretty good. And
Yeah.
Maybe that's the social experiment. Is just hive mind.
Yeah, you like shotgun it, and you're like, I would do that again with this beer, and the brewing company's like, hell yeah.
I have a question for Ben.
Okay.
You generally stick to the tall cans. Is that like what the like craft beers are coming in these days, or that's like your height preference?
Oh, I don't have a height preference as far as beer is concerned.
Okay. If you're 5'6", don't even talk to me.
Ben, we don't want to start a height gap discourse.
Yeah. No, we don't. But it depends. Sometimes I think they do have like a whole like fridge basically that's like dedicated to tall boys. Which
Yeah,
is
that's the
kinda
one you can
interesting.
get like singles of.
And then they
too.
do have a singles fridge too. So
I would say, at least from my perspective, is that some specific types of micro brews are in the tall boys. Maybe if they want to do smaller batches of them, because they usually come in packs of 4. So that they're maybe a little more specialized, so they're more seasonal. I've noticed. But otherwise, most of the time it's just in regular cans. So I don't know.
But here's my podcast pro tip. Here's the Ben Montoya guarantee: is if you get a taller can for an hour long, maybe even hour and a half long episode, because sometimes our episodes get a little longer. It just somehow lasts a little bit longer. Somehow. They haven't figured it out
Maybe because
yet.
there's more of it.
Speaking of making this episode a little longer, I have a new beverage to shout out actually that I came across today. So I was brewery hopping. I had a friend in town, and we went to a couple of different places, and one of which is newly remodeled Trumer Brewing Company in Berkeley. And one of the things on the menu, I'm honestly forgetting what they called. Oh, they called it Diesel. But it's not just a beer. It's any sort of like lager or pilsner on their menu mixed with Coca-Cola.
Okay.
It's so good. It's like
you had it.
I was like, this is going to taste like garbage, and I got it, and I was very pleasantly surprised.
Well, I can do that at home.
Or
Yeah.
Pilsner.
What's the ratio?
It's very light on the Coca-Cola, like it just enough where you like lift it up to your nose and you can smell it, and then it's about the amount of cola as like those gummies are you get at a World Market or whatever, right?
Okay.
It's not
The
a
root beer
lot.
cola gummies. It's not much, so it's like only surface level Coke flavor, but it's so good.
So I can't just get a can of beer and a can of Coke and just pour them into the same glass and call it a day.
I mean, I'm sure you could,
The
but I don't know.
proportions would be all.
Yeah, you gotta. It's a science, Jeremy.
So it's we've scientifically mixed drinks on this show before many times, to a great effect,
True.
I would say.
Yeah.
And so maybe next week I'll purchase. I just don't buy soda a lot, so maybe I'll purchase a singular can of Coke and a local lager that I like, and see how it goes.
I'll instruct you on the ratios. We'll do it
again.
live.
I'm just gonna pour them directly into the same glass.
Oh,
and see
Jeremy,
how it
no.
goes.
Jeremy. For someone who's drinking a social experiment every week, you gotta get a beaker, dude.
You gotta have to form a baseline.
Ben,
Yeah.
guess what? This glass will have fucking ice in it.
Oh, wait.
An iced beer.
Yeah. See, you got on me for not putting ice in my sodas earlier.
Well, that's because drinking soda and drinking beer are two completely different things, Jeremy.
I could see, like, if you're going to be putting, like, a proportional amount of ice for the amount of Coke that goes in, like, you have a cube.
Maybe if you have your... No, I just don't know if it can be done. With the diesel, I don't know if iced diesel makes sense. Okay. Let's start with diesel first.
Yeah.
Okay.
How are you spelling diesel? Because the way you're saying it makes it sound like it's not...
No, like the gas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do
Vin.
Do you say like diesel? Do you like make it a Z sound?
Yeah.
I've always just called it diesel. Does no one say diesel? Diesel nuts?
God damn it.
We all saw that one coming. We knew that was happening. But yes, I'll give that a try.
That does sound interesting. I don't know. They just seem so different, but yet they work.
It worked real well, and the fact that they had the audacity to say, no, pick any Pilsner or lager and it'll work.
That is some audacious shit right there.
Yeah.
Speaking of new beverage, Ian, I saw that, or no, Evan, who sent us the text of the mug and starry sodas right now?
That was me. Or no, I didn't. No, that was Ben, right? That was me. Did you see the soda? Oh, that was Ian. Okay.
It was Ian.
I had a mug earlier, so I blacked out and thought it was me.
Started having like falsely implanted mug memory.
Yeah.
Every time you drink a mug, the mug dog implants mug moments in your mind. Mugception.
You're like, wait a minute. Was the mug dog there?
Yeah, it's like
Were
at my
they?
wedding, the mug dog.
Someone pushed me back into a tub full of mug.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes.
Ian, would you try the starry/mug drink?
Ooh, mixing starry and mug.
Instead of calling it diesel, I call it like E40 or whatever. Like the
Wouldn't you call it like smug? Starry/mug, smug.
smug, smuggy, stug,
Stuggy.
muggy. It's really endless, and I like the idea. Basically, you're taking the mug dog and just blasting him to outer space. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
it's like Leica. So it's like if the mug dog, he's like smiling, but he's got like an astronaut helmet on, and then he's also got like starry stars in his eyes.
Could we get like the mug dog with like a star-shaped base and like star-shaped sunglasses, and he's like Bootsy Collins, but mug
Oh,
dog.
Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah.
I like that vibe.
I guess thinking about it, would the root beer just totally overpower the lemon lime?
Probably. It's one of those things where it's like just similar to the diesel. Like you got to do mostly starry with like a bit of mug.
I think Jeremy's onto something. Mug is definitely like the alpha dominant gene. I think no matter how you spin that Punnett square, it's all mug.
Because we're genetically crossbreeding mug and starry tonight.
Yeah, like Starry gives birth to the baby, and it's the mug dog. There's no Starry in there at all. It's 100% mug.
This kind of reminds me of how like with like weed strains, they'll like crossbreed them to get like different desired effects that have like from different sides of it. I would like to imagine that there's someone out there like breeding sodas. That's like if I how much mug per starry is this, like a starry dominant soda or
The mug is too powerful.
Isn't that just a Coke freestyle machine?
I mean, yes, technically we all can be soda breeders when we have access and are not being judged in front of a fountain. We've all been there. I don't know if I've ever put root beer and lemon lime together, just the two of them, and can recall what that experience was like.
I'd like to put forth a hypothesis, which is mug always going to win because, correct me if I'm wrong, only soda with a non-abstract mascot.
Okay.
Only
That's
soda
a
with
bold
a
statement.
I was saying it's
mascot.
the only soda with a non-conceptual
It's a
representation.
flat-out dog.
on the
It's a
can.
dog. It's a dog. Name another soda that has a
Pepsi
something.
Man.
No.
Okay.
Pepsi
Not as
Man
a-
ain't
It's an
on the
abstraction
can.
of a man.
It's just like the orb.
I mean, Coca-Cola does have like the polar bears.
Polar
They have Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Well,
but like seasonal, right? Like they're not showing that in July.
true.
Well, that's
Mr. Pibb.
Dr. Pepper.
Show me Pibb himself.
Yeah, where's Dr. Pepper? Is he on the can? Coward won't even show his face.
True. Yes, you're right. Yeah. They do have the strongest mascot energy.
I guess that's true, and that's probably why you identify with mug root beer so strongly, is you see a friendly face on the can.
I see myself.
It's like looking in a mirror.
Yeah.
Especially with all those false mug memories. You're like, starting to look in the mirror and you're like, wait, am I the mug dog? Ugh.
And it's like you come back from work, you head to your domicile, and you open the door, and you're like, Muggy, I'm home. And your spouse has been replaced with the mug dog.
Yeah. The kids run up to hug me, and I look down, and more mug dog.
More mug dog.
And you're like, I'm okay with this.
Yeah, it would be a best case scenario, I guess.
You
Certified mug moment.
Yeah, you open your social media apps, and you see that "this is fine" meme, but instead of the regular dog, it's the mug dog, and he's drinking a delicious can of mug.
Presidential press conference, and it's the mug dog whispering into a child's ear, eating an ice cream cone.
Yes. The person comes up to George W. Bush, and he's like, "A second mug is at the World Trade Center."
Okay.
All right, moving on.
It's time to reel this one in.
Okay, well, Ben, we're reeling it into what we like to call I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. Where each week we randomly select a new Pokemon that we're going to cook and eat. Why is that so funny this time?
Just do it.
I am
stuck in my
doing
brain.
it. Don't be mad.
I'm reliving the mug moment. So.
Yes. This week, but all weeks, we bring the Pokemon in, we cook it, we share our recipes with one another, and then we celebrate our recipes by voting on who has the best one. This week, we're cooking Oricorio. Oricorio. Yes.
Oricorio?
Oricorio.
Oricorio.
Oh, is it just spelt wrong on our
Oricorio.
It's probably in the text messages it was spelled wrong because when I sent it the first time, it auto-corrected to something. I think Oricono, like that Enya song. Orinoco. That's Orinoco. See, there's too many of these things. It's hard to keep track of.
It is spelled correctly on the Bulbapedia page,
yes.
though. I'll have you know.
Yes, and it's Oricorio. So, that's the Pokemon we're cooking this week. It's a bird. It does funny dances. You laugh, you cry. Anyway, who won last week? Was it Ben or Ian? It was Ian.
I think Ian won.
Okay.
Davis.
I think this is my first win of the season.
And it tastes so sweet.
It's really not true.
How many episodes are we into the season? I don't know.
This is 14 episodes of season 7.
Pretty sure this is my first win of the season.
No.
I think you've won more than I have.
It's all a blur. I just assume it's either Jeremy or Ben every week.
Ian's mugceptioning us right now. There's no doubt about it.
I'm also getting mugceptioned because the website I had my recipe on is just like blank.
It
Maybe
never
existed. Yeah.
Instead of gaslighting, we call it mug lighting. It's where we slowly dissipate the amount of mugs in your house to make you lose your mind and question your sanity. Do you need like us to vamp anymore, Ian, or have you figured out your situation, or do you remember what your recipe is?
I just needed to look up the word because it's Italiano this week.
Okay.
And it's really beautiful. I gotta thank AI and just like the Google search engine in general, because I started misspelling the name of this Pokemon into the search engine, and it immediately pulled up this dish. It was like, oh, you mean this?
You could possibly be searching for this Pokemon.
Yeah, so I easy. It's getting, eventually I'm not even gonna have to do anything. I'll just like, it'll come out of the, I look in everywhere I look, mug. Recipe.
Look, there's enough episodes of I Choose You that we could feed them to a robot, and it could just it could do an infinite I Choose You like Infinite Seinfeld.
Oh, that'd be good.
So like you could have we could make, okay, maybe this is the next move for I Choose You. Like we make a search engine and people can research things, but it all comes back to how you would cook and eat Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like every article that would pop up is like, surely you meant how should I cook and eat Oricorio?
Yeah.
Surely you meant, Insane Clown Posse, Joker, Juggalos.
Yeah.
Surely you meant mentioning that one time Jeremy went to China multiple times.
It's like, have you ever used those websites where it's like plug in the ingredients you have in your house and we'll generate recipes, but just Pokemon?
Oh yeah, you're like, well, I have in the house. I have cereal, the soup of the cupboard, and a mug root beer and some eggs, and the robot's like, you need to purchase one Squirtle for dinner, kind of situation.
Yep. Exactly. So, Oricorio. We're gonna make Orichiete,
Oh, the pasta.
the pasta,
Ah.
which it's named that after, like, they're just kind of like ear shaped, like little pastas.
Oh yeah, and the word for ear in Italian is probably
Orichiete, probably.
Is that just what it is? Because probably.
It's Italian for little ear.
Yeah, a little ear. That makes more sense. Listen, the recipe couldn't be simpler. You buy the pastas at the store. We're not making them. I don't even I'm not going to pretend like I own the little machine that makes the fun ears. Like,
You can do that with your hand.
Evan.
I'm not gonna pretend like I know how to use these.
Yeah. Evan, when was the last time you made your own pasta?
I was just talking about that the other day. I don't think I ever have.
Oh,
Wow.
well.
So I'll just shut up.
I think the only time I have made pasta, or a family member has made pasta, is when they were making lasagna. Because because it's not, there's not a lot of work. You just have to roll it out and then cut it and then layer it in, so you don't have to make a shape with it at all.
I've made manicotti from scratch.
Ooh.
But similarly, it's just like you get the strips and stuff them. And that was hard enough, man. I couldn't. With these meat claws, you think I could make little tiny ears? Go to the store, buy it, get some olive oil. We're gonna sub out the sweet or spicy Italian sausage. We're gonna have some Oricorio sausage. All right.
Could it be sweet and spicy still?
Well, that's the beauty of this Pokemon is, based on the beverages it consumes, it changes flavor.
Of course.
So, red nectar makes it like fire flying. So that's your kind of like spicy Italian, right? The yellow nectar is electric type. So it's a little tangier, like more citrusy. Maybe you do like a lemon based kind of like a white sauce on this guy.
Sour Italian, as it's known.
If you will. The pink nectar is, psychic flying. Don't know what to do with that, really.
The psychic Italian.
Psychic.
There has to be at least one famous psychic Italian. Maybe it's we've all seen the movie House of Gucci. It's the on-call psychic was one of the people that helped plot the assassination of Gucci Gucci.
All right.
So there you go.
Italian psychic.
Psychic Italian.
I just searched up Italian psychics on Wikipedia, and there's 4 entries.
Wow.
Okay.
But not interesting at all. So I'm moving on.
Okay, that's good.
The purple, if they drink the purple beverage, ghost flying. So dead Italian.
The worst kind.
Is it like Da Vinci or something?
Da Vinci, ex mob boss.
Michelangelo.
All your favorite dead Italians.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, truly, this is what I like about this is it's simple. Like, you can whip this together on a work night. You boil the pasta. You pick a vegetable, like maybe broccoli or some squash, whatever fits the flavor. Put that in the pan. Chop up the sausage, get that all going with the garlic and maybe some pepper flakes, butter, some cheese, and then you mix in the pasta, and it's just like a easy meal to fill your belly.
That's delicious.
Are the pastas themselves, are they colored like the Oricorios?
Yeah. Well, sure.
Okay, you seem non-committal.
Like, I don't know. I could get down with like a red pasta, but it's really like the meat is probably where the color comes from.
Right.
Yeah.
But you've had the like pastas that are like they have like vegetables mixed in with them and they're like different colors.
Of course, yeah.
The
We've all
best.
been there.
All right, that's that's acceptable. I'll have that in a nice meal. Cut some garlic really thin and cook it in there, kind of situation.
Question.
Yeah.
Who are you this week?
I almost said not an Italian, but I could be wrong. Let me.
Possibly Italian.
All right. Born in New Jersey, so there's like a pretty decent chance. His last name's Porcello too.
Oh, that's all the money.
I am the inventor of the Oreo.
Oh, not pasta.
And you know what's wild is I'm looking at this guy's Wikipedia, which for inventing the Oreo, I don't even have to scroll to read the whole article on Wikipedia.
Well, yeah, he invented the Oreo, and then he died.
Well, he was born in 1935 and died in 2012. That's a pretty good run.
Right.
He had 5 patents directly related to the Oreo.
Did he ever?
One for the cookie, one for the other cookie,
one for
And
the
then the
cream?
cream.
And then the sandwiching mechanism where you capture the cream in the cookie.
It says in particular, Porcello was the inventor of the white Oreo cookie cream filling.
Oh, there you go. I was right about that.
His work earned him the nickname Mr. Oreo.
They call me Mr. Oreo. Hey.
Yeah.
How do you feel about do you think he stole the concept of Oreos from Hydrox cookies?
I'm going to say no because without reading this short article at all, he seems to be responsible for the cream. Like, surely, like, the 2 discs with something in the middle were already around, but he was like, how can I improve the midsection?
The Hydrox brothers were like stuffing, meats in between their cookies, and they're like, people aren't buying these. What do we
solve it?
Yeah.
Well, according to this Wikipedia page, which is also very short, is that the Hydrox cookies was inspired by the purity and goodness of combining a hydrogen and an oxygen elements in a water molecule.
Sorry, what? Really?
Yes.
They thought that it was holy and good or something?
Yes.
And they were like, this cookie will symbolize
hydrogen oxygen cookies?
Yes, this cookie represents the purity of water.
Total garbage.
Yeah. So we made a chocolate cookie with vanilla cream in the center to eat it up.
It says,
if the Hydrox cookie represents the purity of hydrogen and oxygen, then wouldn't the Oreo represent the corruption of said purity?
Oh.
Yeah, now it's like
chaos.
hydrogen peroxide kind of situation.
Ooh.
Where it's like it's an unstable element, H3O. It can clean out wounds, but if it's left on the shelf for too long, it like demorphs back into a Hydrox cookie.
according to his son, Porcello was not a huge eater of Oreo cookies, preferring to eat the cookie without dunking it in milk.
I don't dunk Oreos in.
A man of your own heart, Ian. Yeah.
Did he at least get like a little bit of like Oreo crumbs on his grave burial site? Before,
has to.
Passing.
Yeah. His casket is made out of Oreos glued together.
Or his casket is just like 2 giant discs.
He's sandwiched in the middle.
Yeah, I don't think it's that one.
I mean, funerals would be so much easier if you just got 2 giant cookies that you're sandwiched between and they let you down.
The eternal dunk.
Yeah, it's the grave is full of milk and you just go
Yes.
to
God, you're gonna smell so rank after being in there for a week. A grave of milk and a dead person. I like another running bit on the show is we imagine all inventors of like snack foods have snack food themed grave sites.
I mean, Doritos set us on a path.
Yes.
Yeah. In our defense, the Dorito man did pour Doritos into his
grave.
Yeah, it's not our fault that that guy was so fucking all about his own shit that he was like, pour Dorito dust in my grave when I pass.
Flavor blast me.
It's not our fault that it ended up on a Wikipedia page somewhere.
Yeah.
I just want to point out this last element of the Hydrox cookie, which is on the cookie's 100th anniversary, Kellogg's resumed distribution of Hydrox under the Sunshine label in late August 2008 in direct response to 1,300 phone calls from fans as well as an online petition with over 1,000 signatures. A Hydrox fan website with the essay "Nonconformists Don't Eat Oreos" and dozens of forum posts about the product's resumption.
Wow.
Now, see, that's interesting because we were saying that the Oreo is the corrupted version of the Hydrox, but the fans seem to
disagree.
Yeah.
Well, I think Hydrox is obviously the small, scrappy indie band that came first. And then, like, a bigger musical act, like, stole their shtick and became more popular kind of situation.
Gotcha.
So, like, you're cool if you like Hydrox cookies. And you're not cool if you like Oreos. I love Oreos. It's one of the most... they're one of the most... Out of most snack items, like, that are, like, if you get, like, a large, like, case of them, I will eat a lot of them and be kind of upset with myself because I will eat, like, 10. And I'm like, that's too many.
Also... what an excellent, like, it's aged well. Like, how many things have you guys tried from childhood and you're like, wow, this is just way too sweet. I can't.
That's true.
But the Oreo is like, I'm not going to say like at the balance of savory and sweet, but it's, they don't overdo it.
True.
And cookies and cream ice cream is also good.
Oh, forever.
Where are you guys at on the dunking? Because
I don't dunk.
Oh, I don't.
Jeremy doesn't dunk. Evan dunks.
I'm a dunkaroo.
Ben's
I
on
can
the
take or
edge.
leave it.
Yeah, you're on the edge of the glass.
See, the thing with Oreos is like you give me a sleeve of Oreos and I just Scooby-Doo them where I'm like I unwrap them and like make a tower of them and then just push them down my throat like a bird eating like a stick of suet kind of situation.
I did that with mega stuffed Oreos recently and felt real fun afterwards. Yeah. Oh boy.
I mean, it is interesting that you say that they nailed the balance because then they did start going into the overstuffed, the extra stuffed.
Yeah. Giving the people what they want, honestly. Like,
because I think the beautiful thing is that the like mega stuffed or whatever they were at now, it doesn't make it sweeter. It really just changes the texture.
Yeah.
But
like,
I guess there's just more icing. So
it makes one consider like, is the modern cream filling that Dr. Porcello created, do you think like a quadruple stuffed cookie, like the filling is different? Like it's less sweet to counter there being more of it? You know what I'm saying?
I bet you that the actual cookies are just the same and they just put more filling in them.
Yeah, I think it's probably just the same.
Oh, it's a secret he'll take to the grave, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, he died in 2012.
We'll never know.
All right, Ben, what's your recipe this week?
Well, I thought it was interesting that you brought up the, this is a little like peek behind the curtain. You know, they say I Choose You got rid of all their writers last season. and this season there weren't, it was just going to be more off the cuff kind of stuff, just like. Kind of real freewheeling kind of bullshit type of stuff, right? Like, but this is the week where I have to kind of reveal the peek around the curtain because last week when I was like getting so upset with you guys about explaining and talking about cereal, and I said, quote, I never want to hear the word cereal again.
That was a lie.
It was a lie. It was a lie that you, listener, believed because this week I'm coming to you with a cereal recipe yet again.
Good. Oh,
I love a good soup. It's soup season.
Well, we'll see how much you enjoy this soup, because I'm actually making cereal, which is something different, and I'm making Oricorio.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Good for your heart.
Good for your heart, and I'm gonna make it less in the style of a Cheerios and more in the style of a Fruit Loops.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But obviously using the pun as the way to get to cereal. And I feel like our Oricorio birds make for a great like Toucan Sam kind of like proxy.
Yeah.
And so yeah, in the style of, the Fruit Loops, I started kind of going down that direction. I found another recipe similar to what I did last time I did cereal, of homemade cereal, which involves grinding up like oat flour and making like a dough with it, and making it into little tiny bits, throwing it in the oven. You get a bunch of tiny little hard rocks at the end that you then will need to it is cereal all by itself without, it's just there, but you will need some milk to go along with it to make the experience complete. But I'll answer your questions in just a second. Okay.
Slow your roll.
We've talked about this on the show, but I feel like one of the internet myths of the last one of the popular kind of food things is like, oh, Fruit Loops, are all of those individually flavored, or am I misremembering? A Mandela effect kind of thing, where people are like getting into fights over if the Fruit Loops were individually flavored.
Sure.
And to clear the air on that, I did find this article from Time magazine called "Breaking Breakfast News: Fruit Loops are all the same flavor."
No.
I knew this.
No.
That's unfortunate.
What do you mean no, Ian? They all taste the same.
No.
The red 40 makes it have that extra pop in the red flavor.
Okay, so this article really gets to the heart of it, and they start pretty dramatically by saying, "We hate to be the ones to tell you this, but you've been eating a bowl of lies for breakfast."
Oh.
And you probably liked it.
Nailing Ian's ass to the wall right now.
Yeah.
Turns out the delicious multicolored O's that make up Fruit Loops don't actually represent different fruit flavors. According to Kellogg's, according to a Reddit thread which talked about a 1999 article, according to Kellogg's, all of those delectable loops are flavored the same.
Why bother is what I want to know.
Well, I don't know why bother. Why bother in breaking this myth?
Well, no, why bother in multicolored cereal that all tastes the same? Just make it all the same color.
Fun.
I'll answer that.
Yes.
If you poured out a bowl and it was all blue or all red or all orange, you'd have an idea of like what that should taste like. But what they captured was like fruit abstract.
Interesting. It's just
it's so funny
a bowl
that
of
you
misdirection.
Yes.
Because in this article it says, quote, they're all in fact the same flavor. That flavor, quote, fruit, FROOT, which according to Wikipedia stems from, quote, a blend of fruit flavors. So the flavor, it is one flavor, and that flavor is fruit. FROOT.
I'm less upset that it's like a blend.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you wish that Fruit Loops had like an oops all berries situation where it's like oops all red, and you like open a box and it's all red circles?
No. Because Jeremy, it's our differences that make us strong.
Fruit Loops taught me.
Do you tell the Captain Crunch oops all berries that you're like your idea of conformity is too strong, and this is why I don't obey you, Captain, and you like throw him to the ground and step on him?
That's why I would dominate him in warfare.
The captain would not stand a chance.
I mean, you're so much taller than he is.
Yeah,
It's true.
Anyway, I guess there is this misconception that there are actual multiple flavors: lime, orange, grape, lemon, and cherry / strawberry, possibly, that people imagined were individually flavored but are not. But I was thinking that this is our fucking show. We can do whatever we want. So I can fulfill that dream of individually flavored Fruit Loops with these Oricorios. So for the individual flavoring for each one, we'll need Oricorios of each style. So with the red one, we can I think we can shave off their feathers and use that as flavoring for all of our different batches of cereal that we will be making. So the red one that's like the Spanish flamenco dancer is going to be like cherry. The pom-pom one is going to be like yellow, or sorry, it is already yellow. It's going to be lemon flavored. The pink one can be strawberry flavored, and then the ghost type one can be blueberry flavored. And I think you can all throw those in together in a nice, lovely box, and then you can even have like the toys for each Oricorio as like the packaged in each individual cereal box. So then it's like, kids, go buy all of this cereal and try to get all 4 of the Oricorio figurines.
Because what kids love the most is exotic dances
and cute animal mascots,
Most
as
of all.
Mug has proven,
Yes.
time and again. So I think Oricorios is just going to be the next hot kids cereal flying off the shelves.
That probably played very well to our listeners. Me and Ian raised our hands at the same time. I'm just going to butt in and say...
Jeremy, go first.
Yeah, I'm just going to butt in and say, for the advertisements for the cereal, are you trying to prevent the Oricorios from eating the cereal in their name?
I think it's more like the Oricorios want more people to eat them, or eat the cereal. At least. Not like it's kind of like it's like all of the the children their lives are so black and white and full of not color, and then all of a sudden the Oricorio comes to town and drops off boxes of Oricheerios, and then all of a sudden their life is full of color and different individually flavored cereal.
So it's not like Trix or Lucky Charm situation where you want to deny the cereal mascot its food.
Right.
That was the Trix thing though, right? For the Trix yogurt, isn't that like everything's black and white, and then
right?
Oh, that's true.
You mix it together and it's
yeah. Well, but the Trix family of products, they still don't want to give the Trix to the rabbit. That's bad.
Right. And I'm fine with letting the Oricorio get a hold of the cereal. I don't think they would really want it, but that's fine with that's fine with me if they do.
Is it like when I killed a bird when I was a child?
No.
If they ate it.
Not.
Ian, you have a question that Ben needs to answer.
I got 4.
Oh my god.
1.
Okay.
Which of the Oricorios would be the adult, and which ones would be the kids?
See, that's the thing is I'm not even really thinking about it as they have individual the Oricorio. I'm thinking the Oricorios are more like a Yoshi type thing going on, where they kind of are just they're in the background and there's hordes of them, and their goal in the advertising campaign is to deliver boxes of the cereal to all the children and make their lives happy.
Flavors that dance on your tongue.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
I was going to ask what the slogan would be from this mascot, but maybe that's it.
Taste the dance on your tongue.
It's like a party in my mouth.
Exactly.
And we're all invited.
Yeah.
My second question is more leaning towards the Cheerio than the Fruit Loop. Would the mascots be wearing any clothing? Like the bee is Pooh Bearing it, right?
Yeah.
But Toucan Sam is, I almost said a la carte, but I meant to say au naturel.
Ian likes his Fruit Loops served a la carte, one loop at a time.
One loop at a time, totally naked.
I'm gonna go ahead and say these Oricorios in the commercial are naked as a jaybird. Some might say,
Okay.
just because it seems like they already kind of come with their own. They look comfortable in their own skin, like it is clothing, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
And going back to it, the Trix Rabbit doesn't wear any clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You sort of already answered my third question, and my fourth question I'm going to drop, but I will. I need to thank you because, if the listener listens back a few minutes, I was in denial of the Fruit Loops all being the same flavor. But after Ben explained everything, I think I've had this catharsis where I now see that, if there were different flavors, you wouldn't get the ratio, just like the diesel, you have to have the right ratio for it to taste good. And
That's
what they've
true.
done is they've taken that part of the equation out. So the only thing you have to worry about is the ratio of the colors you want at any given time.
So Ben,
it's always going to taste good.
In the box, is it like 4 different bags of cereal with each different color, and you get to mix and match how much you want?
It's like
of each?
instructions.
Yeah.
Good question. I think I'm imagining more of kind of like a maybe like a Mario Party style mini game where there's like a box, there's open box of cereal, and a little bird swoops in and drops one off. And it
One at a
represents
time.
each little color, and so it's evenly distributed all the way to the top.
So it's like a sand painting in here, so kind of situation.
Yeah, that's the kind of quality control that we bring to our product.
No.
So that every box has the equal amount of every flavor.
And you just crank it like a gumball machine to get all the mix, the proper mix.
Right, exactly.
All right.
I rest my case.
There you go.
Evan,
Nice.
what's your recipe this week?
So I too went the cereal route, but my name was going to be Oricorios, the O's. Yeah,
Just
so close,
like hyphen O's.
exactly. And looking at the origin story, the Oricorio might be inspired by the Hawaiian honey creeper, which is a bird that feeds on the nectars of various plants, as we talked about before. And I was thinking of a kind of tropical cereal that would go really well with this. So, and I came upon a TikTok, as you do, that is all about, apparently there's this person that's very obsessed with types of cereal that Lizzo is eating these days.
Okay.
And Lizzo eats this, what is called, quote unquote, nature's cereal. And they thought they'd give it a try. But what is in this nature's cereal is half a cup of raspberries, half a cup of blueberries, half a cup of pomegranate seeds. But in place of pomegranate seeds, I'm imagining that we have these Cheerio flavored like pomegranate, essentially. So they're very fruity flavored.
Okay, not to butt in, but I imagine pomegranate seeds in cereal is quite unpleasant. Those are very hard, and if you're eating cereal, yum 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 cereal, and then you bite one and it's a pomegranate seed, that might be come up as a bit of a shock.
That's not too bad. They're not that hard. They're kind of like a burst of flavor when you bite into them, because they're kind of juicy, right?
They are juicy. I can't deny that.
So yeah, I'm imagining that you kind of are flavoring and dyeing these O's the kind of red Oricorio color.
Okay.
And then you also add half a cup of strawberries, and then 3/4 of a cup of coconut kefir as your
interesting.
liquid. Yeah, so it's a bit on the
sound
healthy
tropical.
side.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. It's not a very traditionally, this Lizzo cereal is not very whole grain or anything, but I'm adding in a little bit of General Mills twist to it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it good for you?
I would think so. This is one of those cereals that you could absolutely pick up at a Whole Food or a natural grocer kind of situation. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'll come in with my recipe now. I feel like this episode has actually prepped us well for my recipe this week. Today, we're going to make some Oricorio soda, and it's called Oricorio. And it's going to be... Each Oricorio is going to have a different flavor of soda. Obviously, we're going to the cheerleader pom-pom style is going to be a kind of lemon lime flavor. The Pau style, I think, is going to be kind of a strawberry raspberry. Same with the Baile style, and then the Senchu style is probably going to be like a grape soda. You know, just kind of matching their colors kind of situation. And making your own soda, I brought up a recipe, and it's actually really complicated. Because you've got to basically, for the flavoring, we're gonna get the fruits, but we're gonna also extract, as Evan said, that they eat honey, so they have like specialized honey in their beaks. So we're gonna extract the honey to mix it in with our cereal to give it an extra sweet flavor and the element of each typing for the Oricorios. And this recipe for how to actually make soda is very complicated, but basically you're going to get juice of each of the flavors that you want. You're going to get water, honey, seltzer water, all this kind of stuff, and then you're going to mix them together, then pressurize them in bottles so they have their flavors meld. Or you can mix the water together and use a soda stream, which also pressurizes into bottles. So you mix your drink together, put it in a soda stream. It like fills a bottle with the soda, and then you're good to go on that front. So yeah, that's my recipe. Oricorio sodas.
Was this in the early 1900s used as a cure for polio?
Well, I would say as most original sodas were, it cured everything. So polio, like leprosy. Let's see, what other diseases do we not have anymore? All that kind of stuff. Rabies. It was the only cure for rabies that was known to exist at the time. And the reason for that is we just put a bunch of drugs in it. And some people complained about that. They said, "Oh, that's probably bad for you in the long run." And we were like, "No, sorry." And then fucking FDR came along, or Pokemon FDR came along.
Here's the Pokemon New Deal.
Yeah.
That's how all the Pokemarts and Poke Centers got built.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
Right.
He was like, "I decree to stop this Pokemon depression. We need to send out our 10-year-olds on Pokemon adventures." Kind of situation.
Child labor, the answer to all of the issues.
Instead of the Tennessee Valley Authority, he was like, "We need to make sure that we have gyms built in every town to support the economy." So, thank you, Pokemon FDR. But that his strong regulatory hand might have crushed the illicit drugs in the soda market in Oricola. So unfortunately, because of that, we just bump up the caffeine intake, which is still legal. Not as high as that Panera Bread lemonade that killed somebody, but it's definitely on a level. Do you guys not know about the Panera Bread lemonade that killed somebody?
No.
We talked about this.
Yes.
Did we? Oh.
Did we talk about it on air, or was it something I just mentioned in
I don't
passing?
think I remember.
I don't remember this.
About this.
A long story short, Panera Bread had a lemonade that you could get that I think a full cup, and it was just like at a stand that you filled it in, was like 360 milligrams of caffeine, and the upper limit of what a human adult should consume of caffeine a day is 400 milligrams. So if you got 2 of those, you're about doubling the recommended upper limit of caffeine one person can have in a day. Someone did that multiple times, and they died.
No. Oh God.
Jeez, man.
Awful.
So, not a good story, but our caffeine is lower than that in the Oreo Cola.
Okay, good to know.
Yes,
Below lethal levels.
It won't kill you unless you do drink too much of it, which again I can't stop you, but you shouldn't.
Right.
That is like the point of a serving size, though, right?
I mean, at its worst, or I guess at its best, it's a life-saving measure to be like, do not do this more than one time.
It's really a suggestion.
Yes,
Because if it,
But
it's a suggestion, but if you say like this is 100% of your daily dose, then you're taking your life into your own hands. If you have
I don't want to blame this person's death on themselves.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about Panera Bread. I'm talking about
Me.
your
My fake
bird
drink. Yeah, caffeine's weird because it does. I mean, it is not that different from a cocaine. It's just
It is a drug.
It is at just a much lower level than that. Where like a straight gram of pure caffeine will kill a person. Like if you just gave that to somebody, they would die because like their heart would stop. But you know, it's you know spread out, so it's less of an issue. And I think like a 12-ounce cup of coffee has like something like 200 milligrams of caffeine or something like that. So it's like it's definitely like it's definitely crazy. Anyway, not going back to Joke Land. These variety of flavors come in delightful glass bottles that you can crack open and share on the beach out of Alola, Oreo Cola. You can even stick a little lime wedge in there and pretend you're drinking Corona.
Ooh.
Ian,
Oh.
you have a question.
Will you sell these flavors like in a variety pack, or do they come like, you have to buy them separately?
Well, Ian, that's a great question. And I think we have two answers for you. One, you can get a 4-pack with one of each flavors, or you can buy full packs of one flavors that are in 6-packs. That's my answer.
This seems like the perfect like beach drink
Oh,
that you would bring,
absolutely.
like in a cooler and just crack them on the beach.
You don't even need a cooler. You got your ice type Pokemon, what's a good ice type Pokemon? Spheal, or no, Spheal's just water type.
No, there's ice, or there's ice.
Yeah, there's
type
some
there.
ice in there.
Get
Okay.
that sneezy bear.
Yeah, I can't believe I can't think of any ice.
Chubchoo.
Chubchoo, that's the
Snowlass. How
one.
about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Frostlass. That's that Pokemon's name, and it holds your soda and then it gives it to you, and it's nice and chilly.
Nice.
Maybe they're like waiters at my resort, my Sandals resort. Like they just hold glasses and they get chilled, so your sodas and beers are all nice and cool when they come to you on the beach.
Love it.
I like the idea of like you go into your hotel room and there's like a little ice guy holding like the cold drink, like he is the mini bar.
He just has to
And
stay there.
He's keeping track of what you take.
It's like a miniature Avalug, and it just has like holes drilled into it, and they just stick the different drinks inside of it, and it just stays cold forever.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
And he watches you sleep.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, Pokemon are just like animals, so like, of course they would like to watch you sleep.
Of course they would.
And they stare at you when they're using the bathroom.
Yeah. Something that's never covered in the show. All right. Let's review our recipes this week. From Ian, we have Oricorio pasta. I forgot the exact name. Oriciento? Am I remembering that correctly?
Or a chiete.
Oriciete, excuse me. From Ben, we have Oricheerios, which are like Cheerios. And from Evan, we have Oricori-O's, which are naturally produced cereal. And from me, we have Oreo Cola. So everyone please vote for the best, most delicious recipe. And Ben will tell us who won.
Well, winning their second ever episode
Of I
of
Choose
this
You.
show is Ian Davis with 2 votes. And I got a vote, and Jeremy got a vote.
Nice.
Good job, everybody. Ian, how's it feel?
I'm finally moving my way up to the top. It's taken 7 seasons.
Well, you win next week. We'll call you Hat Trick Davis.
I'm coming for you, Ian.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's like Ian Davis, really the Wayne Gretzky of I Choose You.
Truly.
Never seen a powerhouse like it. All right. Let's move on to the next section, which is called Whale Lord's Mail Horde. It's where we read your email sent into ichoosepod@gmail.com. That's ichewspod@gmail.com. Ben, can you read this email from Ellie?
Sure can. They write, "Hello, Icy Crew. While I haven't submitted a recipe before, I couldn't pass up the chance to cook up some delicious Oricorio. I don't know if you've had a chance to try quote-unquote chicken lollipops, but they've always been a crowd-pleasing appetizer.
I will let you a secret, I have not.
Me neither. If prepared with the pom-pom form of Oricorio, even less prep work is needed, as the leg meat already has the proper shape. You could still make the dish with the wings of its other forms, treated correctly, but I also find the electric type to make a pleasant tingling sensation similar to Szechuan peppercorn. Excuse me. To start off, take your Oricorio legs, marinate them in a blend of soy sauce, garlic, ginger, lemon juice, and plenty of red Scovillin powder. I eyeball my marinade, so adjust it to your preferences.
Yeah, you just pour that
Let
shit
that
in a bag
marinate-
and you just like shake it up and stick it in the fridge. It's good to go.
Yeah. Let that marinate for about 30 minutes while you make your batter. Combine a fourth cup of flour, a fourth cup of cornstarch, one Oricorio egg, and I almost said powerful spoonful for some reason, of Scoville powder. Scovillin powder, excuse me. Add cold water until the batter is just thin enough to evenly coat the Oricorio pieces. Then heat about an inch of sunkern oil over medium-high heat until a wooden chopstick bubbles when dipped inside. Interesting. Batter each leg and then add to the oil, frying until golden brown on each side. Plate and serve immediately with a side of ketchup or whatever chutney you prefer. I like to make a green chutney with the addition of some yellow nectar to really tie all the flavors together. From Ellie.
Well, that sounds good. Ellie,
It's not
the rest
a lollipop in
Yeah.
the traditional sense. It's just on a stick,
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah.
It's like a skewer. I was going to say, it sounds good. I would not necessarily call it a lollipop.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't
I
bite
don't
it
know.
off.
I
You have to
kinda
lick
like
it
that
until
name.
it's done.
Yeah.
Consider this: the lollipop skewer dichotomy, similar to the soup to cereal.
Interesting.
Is it?
No. No.
I just imagine like you got a recipe for like chicken lollipops and it's like the Tootsie Pop recipe and some kid is like, "Oh, Owl, how many licks does it get to the center of a chicken pop?" And he's like, "A 1, a 2, 3. I'm a carnivorous owl, so this isn't actually that weird."
I was imagining like at first like maybe freezing chicken stock or like some sort of stock in like an icicle, like an ice.
Like a soup
Form.
dumpling situation.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know.
But on a
But I
stick.
mean, it does sound good.
Yeah.
Like party food.
I will say
outside of the name.
frozen broth kind of defeats the purpose of broth for me, but that's just my personal opinion. Like if I'm going to eat it straight, but maybe I'm wrong about this. All right, let's go on to the next segment, which is where we pick next week's Pokemon in a segment I like to call Pick-a-mon. Evan, can you give me a number between 722 and 809?
All right. Next week will be 753.
753. And what will 753? We already did this,
Oh,
so I need another one.
how about 777? We hit the jackpot.
Ooh, nice. Ring it a ding ding ding. We also already did that.
What?
No, it's Togedemaru. I'm sorry, everybody.
How about 797?
797. Let's see if we got a good boy going on this week. 797 is another Ultra Beast, and it's another sexy one. Celestelia. Oh, excuse me. No, this one's Uggo. This one's super Uggo. It's like a big alien. I hate it.
Celestilio girl.
Yes. This is the worst
Nice.
Pokemon ever.
Nice.
And if it's still your goal, you know you're really fucked up because it's so fucking ugly.
Wow.
Jeez.
You want to pick another one, or should we? Stick
We
with
good?
it?
No, I'm just being mean for no reason because we like to play our games here. It's also a steel type. Oh, it's a rocket ship. This is funny.
Oh God.
Man, I typed in celestial Pokemon and the song by Ed Sheeran came up. So no idea
The
what
song
this thing looks
"Celestial Pokemon" by Ed Sheeran.
like. Yeah.
Nice.
They need to do another Pokemon album where
They
it's
do.
like a bunch of famous
Post
people
Malone.
sing about. See, the problem with Post Malone is he just did his normal songs with Pokemon around him. I need him to write a song about Pokemon.
Right.
IMO.
Yeah. I mean, I would also like to see that.
So,
But
we don't always get what we want. But if we try,
sometimes you have to be the change you want to see in the world, which is why we write our theme songs about Pokemon.
yes,
That's true.
it's true. We probably have outside of the people who do the Pokemon soundtrack, some of the highest ratios of Pokemon-based parody songs that exist.
This actually is Ed Sheeran with Pokemon.
Oh.
We can talk about this later, but I'm dropping you a link of the it's an official video, and it's Ed Sheeran living in a Pokemon world.
Can we
Real
get
by
Ed Sheeran to
Pokemon.
cover one of our theme songs?
Yeah. It says 40 million views. Okay. So
Wow.
Ed Sheeran and Pokemon together, Celestial YouTube video.
Okay.
But it says the official music video
Yeah.
for Ed Sheeran, Pokemon.
I guess 2026 is the 30th anniversary for Pokemon, so that's probably when we'll see the next album come out.
Do you think that person contractually has to also reference the sex being good with the
No,
Contractually.
again,
Absolutely.
that's the thing with that Post Malone performance is that he just did his normal songs with the Pokemon around him, which was weird. We talk about this a lot. It's very strange. All right, let's do plugs. Tell us where we can find you on the internet, Ben.
You can find me on the internet at Twitter at Ben C. Montoya or on Tumblr at thefearandnow.tumblr.com. You can go to the bdsmovement.net to stay updated on the boycott movement happening. And I will also plug Hang Up, specifically because one of the callers on season 1 of Hang Up will be a guest judge on next week's episode of I Choose You. So
Wow.
go ahead
Crossover.
and classic fucking podcast cross promo situation happening. So go listen to the episode 1 of Hang Up right after this, and you'll be all caught up and ready to hear one of the people that is on that show on this show next week.
All right, that's so cool. Ian, where can we find you on the internet?
Yeah, you can check me out at Musician Davis on Instagram. Also check out my podcast. It's called I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. Catch our live show at South by Southwest this year, and a local con near you.
Yeah, we're nominated for 4 Webbies this year, so make sure to vote on them.
God damn it.
Write us in.
Yeah, write us in.
Yeah, third-party candidate, write us in. We'll sweep the fucking country, baby. Evan, where can we find you on the internet?
Yeah, I'm gonna plug. I had a short film recently that won
That's
an
right.
award. You can find it on YouTube. It's called First Timers (parentheses short film), and then it's by me, Evan Aubrey. So yeah, give it a watch. It's a little 5-minute deal.
Yeah, and,
Award winning.
Yeah, it's worth one giant novelty check, so it's worth your time.
That's true.
My name is Jeremy Zielik. You can follow me on Twitter at VelocityPrime1, on Tumblr, VelocityPrime1, and I'm also on the Blue Sky application, VelocityPrime1. I'm working to get the I Choose You official podcast thing up there as well, so hopefully that'll be up there as soon as well. Lastly, check out me on the-avocado.org. The-avocado.org, Jeremy Zielik, to see my previous writings. All right, that's it for the show. This has been I Choose You, the podcast about cooking and eating Pokemon. You can get our show on your favorite podcast apps, including Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, or podcast catcher of choice. If you like our show, give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify to help us go up the ranks. If you want more I Choose You goodness, check out our social media pages, I Choose Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Tumblr, TikTok, and Threads. I think that's all of them at the moment. Eventually we'll have 8, but that's 7.
Yeah, sure.
If you want to be a part of the I Choose You community, join the I Choose You Discord. Links are available in the episode description. You can hang out with fellow choosies, send in recipes, participate in community events, all that good stuff on the I Choose You Discord. Lastly but not leastly, check out the I Choose You webpage, ichooseyou.menu. ichooseyou.menu has a full episode archive and merch store, all designed by one Evan Aubrey. That's ichooseyou.menu. All right, time to wrap up the show. I've been your host and Alton Brown of the group, Jeremy Zielik.
I've been your friend on this show, Ben Montoya.
I've been your Sam Porcello, Ian Davis.
And Evan Aubrey.
And to all the choosies out there in Radioland, in a while, Totodile.
We've been consuming, presuming, leguming, cracking cans and having feasts, munching, crunching, slurping, Pokemon and Ultra Beasts. I choose you. Season 7's our destiny. Let's eat some Alolan food. I choose you.